airfoils. So NACA, can anyone define the full form of NACA? Can anyone define the full form? Guys? Guys, can anyone define the full form of NACA? Have you heard of it before? Did someone type it? National Advisory Committee for Aeronautics. Right. So, this in the initial stages, it is defined as a standard airfoil design. Okay. NACA gave a standard airfoil design which are termed into broadly classified as 4-digit, 5-digit, 6-digit, 16-digit, 7 series. So what is the purpose of getting these kind of an airfoils? It's very clear. See, few set of airplanes like uh, conventional jets which are passenger aircrafts, they have certain necessities. Cargo planes have certain lifting characteristics. Cargo planes need to lift heavy loads. They can't travel just like 250-seater aircraft, right? So depending upon the type of an aircraft, the choice of the airfoil design, okay, can be taken with these standard designs. So what we are doing in this is the design of the airfoil. Now for this design, these are the lifting characteristics. That's how we have set up. So whenever the designer is trying to design the airplane, we are choosing the type of the airfoil depending upon what is the lifting characteristic required for that particular type. Okay, so let's see what is this 4-digit, 5-digit mean. These are standard designs. So most commonly we are using 4, 5, 6 series airfoils. We call them as NACA series airfoils. Okay, this is a very important question even in your gate also. Okay, so now here if it's a 4-digit airfoil, example is NACA 2415 or 0012. 0012. So what this each digit stands for, you can see in the table. So the first digit stands for the maximum camber in percentage of chord. So for a NACA 2415 airfoil, what is the maximum camber in percentage of chord? Percentage means it's by 100, right? So it is, what is the maximum camber? 0.02 T. The next one is position of the maximum camber. Now I know that the airfoil nomenclature, according to that, I have certain position for the maximum camber. That's why I told you the geometrical characteristics of an airfoil are very, very important. Because extruding this airfoil only we are getting the entire wing. So the second digit stands for the position of the maximum camber. So here it is in tenths of chord. So it's 4 by 10. So it is 0.4 of the chord. That means if this is the total chord length, I am having the maximum camber at 0.4 C. That's the position of the maximum camber. And the last two digits, that is the third and fourth digits. Fifth is not there. The third and fourth digits, they are giving the percentage of maximum thickness. So what is the maximum thickness here in terms of chord? If the chord line is 1 meter, then the percentage of the thickness, it is T is equal to 15% of chord. 15% of C. So if I am taking the airfoil, standard airfoil, this is a standard airfoil. So for this kind of a design, these are the lifting characteristics. Done. They are kept to the side. So what is the only parameter which is changing? That is only the geometry. Chord length is 2 meters. So where should it go? It is similar to writing Z is equal to f of x curve. So I have an equation Z is equal to f of x. I just have to plot the curve for it. X coordinates are changing. X coordinates, it is 0 to 1 once, it is 0 to 2 meters, 0 to 5 meters. Chord length can be anything. So I'm just plotting the curve. In the NACA 5 series airfoils, I'm having an additional advantage. See, 4 digits, if you are observing, only geometrical parameters are given. But in the 5 series airfoils, I'm having the design lift coefficient also hidden. So the first digit, this gives me 3 by 2 into 1. So CL is equal to 3 by 2 into 2, first digit, and in tens. So it is the maximum CL or the design lift for this airfoil is 0.3. So CL max is equal to 0.3. It is giving the maximum design lift coefficient. The second and third digits together, they are giving the position. Here, maximum camber is not given. Only position from that point where it is in tens of chord. So it is 30 by 10 of chord. And the last two digits, always in any airfoil, the last two digits are given by thickness. The last two digits are thickness in percentage. Okay, here I am getting a aerodynamic characteristic also in the 5 series airfoils. Similarly, for a NACA 6 series. 6 series here, it means that there are only 5 digits, but they start with the number 6. So 6 indicates that these are the characteristics which we have to consider when we are using the NACA 6 series airfoils. So first digit indicates a series, second digit. Now here, as the design progress, you are having the minimum pressure in tens of chord. I am getting the value of CP also in tens of chord. So it is 0.4. See, if the chord is 1 meter, that is a minimum pressure point. Sorry, the CP location. Minimum pressure, it's not pressure, it's minimum pressure point. So I'm getting the location of CP minimum. Okay, XCP minimum. So minimum pressure is the point where the velocity is maximum. Okay, velocity maximum. Why do you need? We will see now. Velocity maximum point. How do you get it? Why? Also we will see. And here I have a subscript here. It can be 1, 2 sometimes. So it means that the low drag is maintained at lift coefficients. Even drag characteristics and the lifting characteristics relation are given in terms of this. 1 indicates 0.1 below the design. 2, if it is there, it is 0.2 and the first digit. So these two digit subscripts are related. And the last two digits are automatically maximum thickness. So this is what each of the thing stands for. Each of the digit tends to stand for. Okay, as you can see, NACA 4 series stands only with the geometry. Here I am having an aerodynamic characteristic coefficient of lift. Here I am having three things, that is the minimum pressure point, and low drag and lift relation. There is the minimum drag and the design lift coefficient. So I am trying to relate or designate the aerodynamic characteristics in the series of the airfoils. Any doubts till now, guys? So this is NACA 4, 5 and 6 series airfoils. Now coming to the examples, you can read it on your own. This is the example. So if it is NACA 2415, maximum thickness is 15% of the chord, camber is 2% of the chord, located 40% from the back of the airfoil. 5 series, CL is 0.3, position from the leading edge and maximum thickness. Similarly for the stick series, it's just extension of what we have done in the previous thing. Every number we just brought down and what we are getting the value. Okay, so now these are the common airfoil series, and as the time passed, NACA has come up with so many series, like 16 series, 7 series, and 8 series is very rarely used. So the different characteristics are good stall character. You can see in terms of stall characteristics, center of pressure movement, okay, and where it is used, the application part. This is a very important theory question as well. So which is having a good stall characteristic. Suppose you want the airplane to fly at higher angles of attack, then I should choose an airfoil which is having a good stall characteristic. That means stalling angle must be delayed. And similarly, if I want the aircraft to lift maximum weights, then I should have a higher maximum lift coefficient. Then only it can lift the weight into the air. Next, avoids low pressure peaks. Suppose if it's a combat aircraft or a ship propeller. Okay, propellers. So what is happening on the from the top to the bottom of the propeller? You will have a variety of pressures from one point from the tip of the propeller to the root of the propeller. There is a number of variety of things, right? So here, depending upon the characteristics, here you can see which series is used for which type of an airfoil. So this table you can go through. I'll be posting the notes of this immediately in the Google Classroom. You can go through that. Okay. Is this clear, guys? Or any doubts in the NACA airfoil?